Welcome to 365 Brothers, the podcast. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Robin Shine, and get ready for another episode where I introduce you to another amazing, interesting, intriguing, and inspiring African-American man from the United States. They come from a variety of professions, various parts of this nation, and all of them bring their wisdom. So, chill out, relax, and listen in. Make sure you follow us. We're on Instagram at 365 Brothers. Also, you can go to 365brothers.com/Linktree, LINKTREE, 365 Brothers /Linktree. You'll find links to all things 365 Brothers, as well as links to anything Robin Shine. Again, thank you, and let's listen in. Today, we're talking to a brother who is originally from Oakland, California, currently resides in San Diego, got there via San Diego State University. He has worked behind the camera, worked as a director, and is currently the anchor of Kamal Johnson, ENT. And you can find him on YouTube. You can also find his audio on Spotify and other places. And we're just going to have a wild conversation. This is my favorite thing about him. Two things. First of all, he considers himself a digital comedian. I love that. Okay, that's hilarious. And then secondly, when I reached out to him and we went back and forth, he called himself the Black Jerry Seinfeld. And I'm like, okay, we gonna talk, because I love me some Jerry Seinfeld. I don't care what people say, I do. We just gonna have a great conversation. So prepare yourself for a treat. Kamal, welcome, yes. 365 Brothers, the podcast.
Hell yeah. Oh, Robin, can I tell you something? So all the names that I'll tell you, like the Black Seinfeld, digital comedian and stuff, I actually got those names from people trying to talk shit about me.
Oh.
Flipped it.
Look, and I was like, I love that. Digital comedian, Black Jerry Seinfeld. That is so cool.
Yeah. I was like, all right. I was like,
look, let them be a step on the ladder to your continued success.
Yep. I'm glad to be on here. Thank you for having me on here.
Let's jump in. What is a favorite song or movie, either right now or all time?
You want me to do both, or you just want me to do one or the other?
What you in the mood for?
Okay, let's do movies. One of my favorite, I gotta say Juice.
Ooh.
Juice.
Tell me why.
Tupac Shakur. That role, he killed it. Damn. I love that scene when he be like, you know what, Q? I used to be tripping, right? When y'all called me crazy. But you know what? I am crazy. I'm like, holy shit. Wow.
People don't know. He could act. I mean, was he gonna be Denzel? I don't know about that. But can he act, make that face, get you involved, and have you go like,
Yeah. So Juice was one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna stick to Juice.
Okay, but tell me more, because I got the Tupac part. I'm a fan of Tupac. I mean, I'm actually a little older than when Tupac came out, but I got that 3 CD set. Okay. That's it. I got that. And I know that. And I can rap that, but don't ask me.
Okay.
Okay, but besides Tupac, what else is it about the movie for you?
The movie for me, it kind of do give a feel of how I like to be a Black teenager in America, in a sense. You literally had 3 teenagers that didn't want to get caught up in the life per se. And one of them convinced them because they had no goddamn resources. They had no money. They was in dire situations. And they did this one thing that caused one mistake where he ended up popping the store clerk. And then they all fought amongst each other and then start killing each other.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? It's so sad for me when you say that. And because I teach high school and I've had students who have died behind some nonsense violence. Something I haven't even shared, which is not directly the kind of situation you're talking about, but kind of, there was a kid, you know how everyone always says, oh, he was such a great kid. He was a wonderful person. No, he was kind of not so great. Okay.
Yeah.
but but he had a good heart. And like, I watched him mature over the course of a year. Right. And anyway, long story short is he got in the car with a couple other guys who'd been doing some robberies. Police stopped them and he got shot by the police because he was running away because he hadn't been there when they did what they did, but he was in the car with them. And, so when you say, how real that can be, it's like, I hear you on that. And I never thought about the movie that way. Do you know what I'm saying? That it just reflects, it's been a while since I watched it. I have watched it, but it's been a good minute. But I really appreciate you pointing out the realness of a single choice. Yeah. The realness of the pervasiveness in certain communities of that always there opportunity to do something wrong.
And to me, it showed that most Black teenagers aren't on the path of destruction in a sense. Yeah. Especially if they have some resources and have either they could get a job or if like they ain't living in damn near poverty and stuff like that and have to use the first opportunity to get money and stuff like that. Yeah. Like most of them is not like that. It's just they be put in that circumstance and then they have like maybe one or two friends and then it just kind of trickle down. So
yeah. And we often forget that peer pressure is real. And I mean, if you're in a community where the peer pressure is to have sex before you're 16, okay, well, that does suck. But, in some places, the peer pressure is to get caught up, So, thank you for that. What's a favorite moment from your childhood? And I know there are plenty, but what's one that stands out as a favorite moment?
One of my favorite moments, it got to be when I was playing basketball and I was on the AAU team in 6th grade and I made like the game winning shot, It was a proud moment for me because like my grandmother and my mom was there. That was like one of the first time I think my grandmother saw me like hoop. And I've been hooping since like I started probably playing basketball when I was 3 or 4. But like it's just a proud moment because I'm like, I kind of show other people too, because like they always try to put the whole thing like, yeah, Kamal smart. But I'm like, bro, I can hoop too. I'm kind of athletic. And so making that 3 childhood, that was a great moment. I felt proud of myself.
Yeah.
So that was a really great moment. Oh, and also at that moment, around that time though, I met some of my best friends that's still some of my friends today, man. Shout out to you, Germ, Boothorn, and Kevion. I met them in 6th grade, and it was around that time with the basketball tournament and all that. So
hey, cool. I love it. I was just talking to a fellow teacher and we were talking about how we keep stuff from our childhood. And I tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth because you mentioned 6th grade. I still have the essay I wrote on Tutankhamun in the 5th grade because I got to go to the museum and see it because I got picked. This girl is 56, y'all. I was 51 years. I was 5th grade, okay?
Hey, but that's tough though that you get to remember something from your childhood that's good because it's like, we could instantly remember bad in our childhood, but trying to remember good stuff, sometimes it's, it's a little difficult. But I'm, glad we can remember stuff like that,
Yeah, I agree. This is where I ask about accomplishments, and I ask this question in 2 parts. First, the accomplishment that means the most to you personally, Kamal, and then an accomplishment that when others hear it, it's the one that's most likely to get the or wow. So which accomplishment of your many is the one that means the most to you personally?
I mean, of course it'd be this, so what I'm doing. I'm creating. Yeah. But the one I'm really proud of because like it did take some goddamn sacrifice and I did lose some friendships and relationships, but I kept focused. I ended up paying off all my debt.
Woo!
Yeah, like I'm
Congratulations.
debt free, and I stuck to a
Congratulations.
financial plan. And when many people didn't see it, or many people called me cheap, or all that other stuff, is like, well, this is what I'm doing it for. And now I'm like in a better position financially, and now I can do what I'm doing now compared to like other people that went out and partied and acquired debt and kind of looked at me like, oh, you a hermit crab, you don't come out, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, and then when I tell them that, now they're like, damn, you out of debt? I'm like, yeah, out of debt, no student loans, no credit cards, car paid off. Now I can really finance into the biz. And I was striving for that since I was like 25. So this like 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
I was in a good amount of debt. So
yeah,
hospital bills, all that. So
okay. Yeah, you know what? Trust me. Trust and believe. I had some school loan debt. We was approaching 6 figures. Ooh. So, so I get you. I would actually like to ask you a little bit more about the experience you had when you would share with people that this was your goal and that they were kind of like, hating on it.
Well, the experience was, I mean, like, can I say this? I just thought they were stupid. I'm like, bro, how can you be hating on somebody that's trying to do something better for their life? And everybody knows that's one of the ways that you could better your life through paying off debt. So then you can have more money to invest in and invest in what you want to do.
Yeah. What do you think the gap was that they didn't like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm with you. I'm like, yeah, debt free, duh. But what do you think? I don't even know how to ask this question. I don't want to say, what made them so stupid? So I'm not going to ask that because my mom hates when I use that word even now. But I will say, what do you think they were missing and not appreciating the value of what you were doing and the opportunity of what you were doing?
You know what it was?
Please.
It wasn't that they thought they were missing something. They thought I was missing something because I wasn't out there able to go to events or hang out at the bars or go to clubs or go to certain concerts. And it's like, and not only that, I was paying off debt. I'm building my brand. I'm building myself up. I'm building a company. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that went hand in hand, but they didn't see that. They see me, damn, bro, you staying in the crib all day. You don't have no fun. And it's like, but this is fun to me. Like I'm able to do something where like generational, like I call it generational debt. I was born in a debt. Literally. My mama and my grandma, everybody done had debt in my family. I'm like probably the first, I think my uncle and maybe my great grandmother. The only ones that I know, I think my uncle probably still in debt, but them the only other two that possibly not in debt besides me. Everybody else, I done had debt. I was born in a debt. Then when I came to San Diego State, I had a loan, didn't know what a loan was, but then I was in freaking debt. Soon as I became independent from my household, I was in debt. And I saw how debt was detrimental to a lot of people in a lot of situations. And the way you can make moves out here, just having like certain type of debt, it just hinders you. You feel me? So
I'm so glad I asked, and I appreciate everything you said. A couple things stand out. One is when I went away to college freshman year, one of the first things I did was sign my name to some debt, right? Like I got a partial scholarship, but it also included some loans. And I did not have any appreciation for the path that I was about to embark on. You know what I mean? Like the continued just signing, like they send you your financial aid package and they say this much scholarship, this much loan, this much grant. And then I go, okay, which part's the loan? Sign. And it's just like blindly. I can honestly say just blindly. But also like my mom was a single parent for many years. And so she too, I know that there was debt there, right? And so when you say born into debt, I think that is such a powerful thing to say, because I don't think we think about, I'll say it for myself. I've never thought about what is the impact on children who grow up hearing the conversation. Okay, I got to pay this bill and that bill, but I'm gonna wait and pay that other bill.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's not to make light. It's not to say that, real people aren't struggling or that struggling is bad, because I definitely ain't saying that. I'm just saying it would be good to know what the impact is. Like, we don't have a problem talking about the impact of a diet heavy in hot Cheetos. And so, like, we can talk about that, right? And even if somebody does it, we may secretly be like, I wouldn't do that. But we know that that person knows that it's bad. We can talk about that. That's not the best thing for a kid. But we don't have conversations about our money environment, our financial environment, and the impact that those things have on us. So I love what you said. And then the last thing, because I know I'm just going off on what little you've already shared, but when you said that it's not that what they were missing, is that they thought you were missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I see that so often, that we kind of begrudge people if they hustle too much. Like, we want you to hustle, but we want you to talk the hustle.
Yeah.
If you don't do the hustle, you ain't hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. You're not hanging out. And it's like, it baffles me that people try to put on what they think is fun to you, when clearly I told them, like, I think this is fun. Being able to know how money works and paying off debt. Now, I ain't no rich or wealthy at all. You feel me? I'm not even considering myself well off. You feel me? But it's like, I accomplished something within finances that many Americans, not even Black people,
many Americans
ain't even done. And I did it through freaking sacrificing shit. You feel me? Couple noodle diet. You feel me? Whip it up with the eggs. Hot dog and spaghetti. I mean, I still eat that stuff. I think it's good, but it's cheap. That's my point. I wasn't going out to restaurants every weekend or every day or stuff like that. At the same time, I'm building my brand. I'm building what I'm doing right now. Kamal Johnson, ENT. And I found this to be fun, but to other people, it might not look as fun, And they try to put into you like, you ain't fun. Right. You don't come out and do this and that, go to bars, or it's like, I think this is fun what I'm doing already. And that's going to be added fun down the line when all my other shit is in row, Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it. That is a beautiful accomplishment. And you're right. Many Americans will live and die and never know that freedom.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Now, will I get back in debt? Maybe, but this time, if I get back in debt, it's going to be because of my doing, not me going to a damn school. It's going to be me trying to build a multi-million-dollar business or something. You feel me?
Right. And look, and I want to say, because I know there's some people like, yeah, but there is a place for debt. There is a place for debt. Like, you know what, you buying a home, it's an investment, whatever, even though some people say it's not an investment, but whatever. Like, there are places where debt makes sense, and I'm not anti-debt, but I still acknowledge you for what you've accomplished. And really, it's a big deal. So what about the accomplishment that gets the or wow from others? Which one is that?
I mean, the two accomplishment that I get the what? Can I say three?
Okay.
Three. So one is what I'm doing now when I tell people, like, yeah, I'm a news anchor. I have my own news station and stuff like that. And then the way I like talk, so they'd be like, what? Okay, let me check it out. So they'd be really impressed by that. And I'm like, yeah, y'all better be impressed. God damn it, I've been on this for a while, And then the second thing is when I actually tell people, not only that I graduated from San Diego State, is that I double majored. So,
what'd you double major in?
Sociology and economics.
Excellent.
So, that impresses a lot of people. I'm just more of like, whatever. And then the third thing lately is because I'm starting to really play basketball again. And like, when I tell people my age, and they're like, what? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, because I stretch and eat right. Apples and bananas and oatmeal.
I just love the first part. Yeah, because I stretch.
Yeah.
If y'all did some stretching.
Yeah. But yeah, people were just kind of impressed with kind of like that aspect of me keeping up, I guess, with my body at that age, because 35 in most people's eyes is still young. Basketball wise is kind of like it's hard to get out there at that age. And
no, you're right. 35, you getting close to 40, and we all know it don't look the same running up and down the court at 40. You can tell. You can see. Oh yeah. Oh, you're doing good.
Yeah. You're like, oh God, man, Jesus. Just sit in the corner. I'm going to be the sitting in corner guy one day. I want to be the sit in the corner.
Or the one where people are secretly going, well, why he playing with the kids though? Don't he know he should be playing with the other people?
Off the court. Oh my goodness. By that time, I'm going to take up cycling or something. I ain't going to play basketball. Become a cyclist.
But that's awesome. And I have to say, like, I was surprised when you said you were 35, because I really thought I was interviewing, like, I could tell you weren't like 22, because just the information you convey and what you talk about. But I was like, he could just be bumping up to 30. He could just be bumping up. But that's awesome. All three of those. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's talk about words. What is a favorite quote, saying, metaphor, or book?
One of my favorite quotes I love hearing is it be like that sometimes. Now, where I heard that from, I can't tell you. I heard it from a movie or something, but I was like, yo, I like that quote. It be like that sometimes. Yeah, it does. And book, one book that I like, and shout out to one of my best friends, and he my co-host on one of my shows, the Magic Think Tank podcast. But my homie Frank, he wrote a kid's book.
Oh, wow.
The Brown Unicorn.
What? Did you say the Brown Unicorn?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that'd be one of my favorites out of damn near all my books, like my favorite. I love reading. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I grew up hearing it be like that, but how I heard it was it bees like that sometimes. Okay. So when you said it, I was like, but you didn't say it right. It bees like that sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But you can say it that way too.
Oh yeah, I said it mad proper.
That's funny. But I love that phrase also, because sometimes it's just like straight truth. It's like you don't like it the way it's going. You hate the way it's going. You kind of mad it's going that way. But sometimes it goes that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. So.
Let me ask you about your experiences. What is a moment, conversation, or event that either changed the trajectory of your life or it had a significant impact on your life?
Okay, I'll tell you about this event because I still think about it to this day. And actually, I think it did kind of change me. Before I got to college, it was like a month before I got to San Diego State, or even got to San Diego, me and my friends, my friend Kivion, Boothorn, Jeremy was in his car, and then Kivion, baby mama. We were driving to go see Step It Up 2. Is that the one with Chris Brown in it, right? Or Step Up or what?
I know the movie Step It Up 2. I don't even know who's in what.
Is it Step It Up 2 or one of them dancing movies that Chris Brown's supposed to be in? And before we were going to go see that movie, and Kivion was driving, and we was on the freeway, and we got cut off. We was in the furthest left lane, going probably like 70. We got cut off, and we flipped over onto the furthest right side of the thing. We flipped over a couple times, got into a horrible accident. Van was crushed in, top was crushed in. It started smoking too. All the windows was busted out. So it started smoking. I'm thinking like, oh shit, it's about to blow up, So like I hopped out the car and got the door open, because luckily the doors weren't jammed shut. And then I got my homie Germ out the car. Kiwi was able to get out the driver's seat, and he helped out his baby mama. And I got Germ out the car, and Boothorn was able to hop out the window. And like we was all alive, and like only injuries I had was the car thing jammed through my freaking toe. So I had like a it was kind of like a hole through my toe for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
your toe was pierced.
Yeah, it was pierced. It didn't pierce all the way through, but it was like bing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't walk for maybe like a couple weeks. Germ almost lost his eye because the glass was like right there from cutting into his eye. And Kevion hurt his back for a little bit. And from that day on, I just always been on a thing where like I'm just gonna do things. I'm just not gonna let shit hinder me. Going to San Diego State and not visiting San Diego. Most people were like, "You didn't visit San Diego? Why would you?" I got a feeling I'm just gonna go there, you know. And I'm getting good feedback from people. I'm like, I'm going there. Entrepreneurship, like just doing my business stuff. I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. And I think it stemmed from that because like the police came and was like, yo, y'all lucky. Y'all must got an angel. And the thing about it, and I forgot to say this part, I think this is the most important part. And it's like, it's me listening to my intuition and gut. Before we left, everybody put their damn seatbelts on. We never ride with seatbelts before and shit like that. You know what I mean? But
no kidding.
I don't know. Not kidding at all. It's like, I was like, nah, put y'all seatbelts on. And they was making fun, cracking jokes. Oh, you scared of it? I'm like, we ain't gonna leave till y'all put the fucking seatbelts on. So they did it, and that shit happened. And yeah, seatbelt company sponsor me, goddammit. That was you feel me? No, but seriously, seatbelts, like, you know, I saved us, and it was just that changed the trajectory, I guess, of my life. The police telling us that like we must have an angel, and this is right before I went to San Diego State, literally like a month before or 2 months. It was that summer.
Wild. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I love that you give credit to listening to your intuition. But I love that you give credit to listening, but not just listening, acting on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how often do we hear that whisper and then we kind of doubt or we go, ah. And I just love that you heard the whisper. And not only did you act on it, but you knew that it was a message for the entire vehicle, for everybody in there. And I don't know if you've ever said this to yourself, but I think it's fair to say that your action, your willingness to speak up, saved lives.
I ain't really never thought about it like that. Huh. Now that you mention it, yeah, it has though.
Yeah, It did. It saved lives. Like people are walking the planet and making a difference in whatever way they're making a difference because you stood for something. And I usually wait to the end to say, you know, as I'm listening to you, one of the things that stands out about you, but I'm just going to tell you now, one of the things that stands out for me about you is your willingness to commit. The going to San Diego, sight unseen, but you commit and you go. And you still in San Diego now.
Yeah, for real.
But being debt free, like that is such a commitment. That is a commitment. And you stayed true to that commitment, even as people, you know, kind of jabbed you, you know, little, you know, made a few jokes and whatnot. And then going back to this car and this drive and your commitment to honoring what you felt in your heart at that moment. That is a wonderful thing to have as a character trait, the ability and willingness to commit. Yeah, very cool.
You made me proud. You made me proud of myself. Dang, I didn't even think of it like that. Jesus.
Just who you be. And be like that. And be like that, bro.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Let's talk about your experiences as a Black man. What is a moment that either signifies or in some way highlights your experience as a Black man in the United States?
I mean, do you want good or bad?
You get to choose.
I just give both. Highlights, what I've noticed a lot of times is that people automatically think I play sports. I mean, I do, but it's kind of like, that's what they see. That's what's highlighted as me as a black man is you used to play sports. When I went to San Diego State, you play on a team. Nah, I actually go here academically. How? Because I'm smart. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I got in just like you. Like, I don't need to be on a damn sports scholarship or go to do a sport to be here. But that's what's highlighted with me a lot of times is that being a black man, I guess funny, entertaining. That's a highlight. Charismatic. You feel me? Now, those are highlights, but at the same time, it's looked as like, kind of like, and this is the downturn, microaggression, which some of the times I saw it. I get a ton of freaking microaggression along with actual real racist ass aggression as a black man in San Diego. Because San Diego is, what is we 6% black people out here in San Diego. And moving from Oakland, that was a culture shock because Oakland at that time when I was growing up was 47% black African-American living there. So coming here, a lot of microaggression, a lot of actual aggression. But also what I realized is, yo, I'm super light skinned. I'm light. So certain things I might could get away with. It sucks to say that, but I noticed that when I was back in Oakland, I didn't notice it until I came to San Diego. And I'm
really?
Like, yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, because in San Diego, the narrative of like colorism and you better because you light skin and dark skin, I didn't notice the sentiment of that until out here because it was more pushed and more put in your face. When I was in Oakland, my nickname was White Boy because I'm the lightest there. But anything else didn't really pertain to shit. People wasn't really, I didn't really feel like the colorism or the hatred. It could have been there, but I didn't notice it until I got here to San Diego. Then I started realizing things in the past. I'm like,
give us an example for people who may not know what you're referring to when you say colorism.
When I go out with my friends and I'm usually the light skinned one. I'm usually the lightest one, right? The rest of my friends, they more darker tone, right? We all the same size height-wise. Now, they might be a little bigger, but we all muscular, you know, and stuff like that. But every time we go out, when I went out with them or whatever, for some weird reason, guys would want to try to fight me. Even if I didn't say nothing, they want to try to test me.
No kidding.
Yeah. Even though my homies would be like, I don't know if you want to test him. He's more likely, you know. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing. But I felt that. My homies felt that. And then I started realizing, like, is that why certain people back in the town want to fight me for no apparent reason sometimes? Or are they thinking that because I'm light-skinned, I'm more prone to get women? Well, it ain't that. It was stuff like that. Another thing with the colors I went out with my darkest friend with me. White women are more prone to come up to me until they start hearing me talk compared to my homies. And this is not this before this. I mean, I had a taper, you know what I mean? I had the fro and this wasn't growing in back in the day and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
for my listeners, you know, he's got a little fro going and then he's got a short kind of beard. Yeah. So he said before all that when he was that clean cut kind of
exactly. Yeah. But that's what I mean, where like, I started experiencing the colorism thing. I'm starting to understand it a little bit more coming out here to San Diego and then understand the experiences that I had in the town, or aka Oakland. So
you know what? You actually helped me get colorism in a better way. Thank you for sharing those examples. I think in particular, like when you said how white people are, you know, or white women are more likely to approach you compared to some of the other brothers, right? And I mean, I've certainly noticed in my life, you know, a similar thing where white people or people who are lighter on the spectrum will tend to prefer the conversation or the company of someone who's lighter than darker, right? That's not all the time and not always, but it is something that you notice over time.
Yeah.
I only know about some of that tension between light skin and dark skin that I've heard of in the South, right? In particular. And as you're sharing what you're sharing, all of a sudden I realized, oh, even though I've seen it in the movie, even though they've made it plain, it just really kind of landed in a different way. That if you're light skinned, you do realize you're getting away with a lot more. You can be in different places, and that would lead to for self-interest and maybe even self-preservation, distancing, right? Because before I was just like, well, why would they distance? Why would they distance? But I get the economic opportunity of it, if I can just put it like that. And then because you mentioned the darker skinned brothers, wanting to, just pick a fight, so to speak. I really hadn't appreciated that there is this built-in animosity that gets nurtured by the disparate treatment.
Yeah.
Just nurtured, more so in the past than now, but how it would lead to, Yeah. That's deep. I asked every brother this question, and the answers do vary. There are brothers who've only had, your regular speeding ticket now and again. And I've had other brothers who've had the unfortunate experience of a gun being drawn on them by the state via the police, right? So it's the whole range.
Yeah.
For you, Kamal, what has your experience been with law enforcement in the United States?
Oh my God. All the above of what you just said. Speeding ticket, gun pulled out, mistaken identity, all that bull malarkey. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. From Oakland. Actually, in Oakland, it was a little bit less. It happened, but not as often as in San Diego. And it might be because went to the San Diego State party school. And maybe the police were more encountering there, because in Oakland is like some more type of like crime of homicide and stuff like that, compared to San Diego State is more the partying and stuff like that. But yeah, I done had speeding tickets, not that many though, 'cause I don't really speed, but we're just kind of like head scratching or pulled over. But when they pull me over now, I'll just be asking them questions. I'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. Cause when my tail light was out, I knew it was out.
Yeah.
Then I was like, my tail light's out. Yo, I didn't know that. Where can I get that fixed? They be like, they hold tone change, but oh, okay, well, you just go to the, it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. But then like, what I've noticed, when I was at San Diego State, I had more encounters with the cops. And I'll tell you a story where a gun has been drawn on me. Now, I had a gun drawn on me twice out here in San Diego and once in Oakland.
In all three cases by the police.
By the police. And then one time I actually faced some actual racism in Santa Barbara, because I went up there for Halloween, and I had this costume where I had this Curious George around my neck, and this white chick stole it. Well, she didn't steal it, 'cause I got it back, but I chased her down and I got it back. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And the cops come to me and I'm telling them like, yo, she's trying to steal my property. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, I need to see her ID. Blah, blah, blah. And I showed them my ID. Guess what they said?
What?
They were like, are you from Oakland? Are you a gang member?
Come on.
Because I didn't change my Oakland ID yet to San Diego. But they asked that shit.
Wow.
The nerve of them.
Wow. Because you're Black and you're from a city with Black people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they asked that. And then the one time in San Diego where I got the gun drawn on me, mistaken freaking identity, where it was me, shout out to my homie Frank, my other homie Chuck, Elric, and it was like 3 other dudes. We was walking down the street, and then the cops rolled up on us. Bloop, bloop. Guns out. Get on the ground. Blah, blah, blah. Is we like, what? What are y'all doing? What the hell? We like, and I say this. We were in the wrong because we was kind of arguing with them. We was kind of already sipping, and we just walk into a party, and they roll up on with the guns out. And so then at first we was high rate, but then after a while we just started joking because they kind of sat us on the curb and stuff like that. And we started asking, they started being like, they were black, right? Were they his black? Talking about me. Or our black. And they were like, well, what were they wearing? Because this guy, the homie Justin, they were like, this guy dressed hella ugly with a long ass ugly white t-shirt. Did they have that on? Like, y'all ain't giving no description. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all got us on the curb. Y'all pulling y'all guns out. And I was saying shit too. I was like, yeah, I'm hella light skinned. We're like, did they look like me? And we tall. Like, what's up? We got one midget in the group. Because Burr was like 5'7", 5'8". So we was being kind of sarcastic and stuff, but they pulled their guns out, and then like the store clerk, because it was a 7-Eleven, came around, was like, nah, it was none of them. Then they say, have a nice day. And you know what? We kept encountering them cops afterwards too, because of San Diego State. Because since it's San Diego State, and if you go to parties and stuff, they break up parties or they see you out.
Oh, it's the same. Right.
Cop tried to be cool with us. We was like, hell no, we ain't being cool with you. I ain't gonna disclose his name because he still might be out there,
Right. Yeah, let's not do it.
Yeah, but we were just like,
maybe he's wrong.
The cold part about this situation though was that the one cop that was very animate and very talking shit to us and told us we should be ashamed of us being black men was a black man. He was black and Spanish.
Wait, I'm sorry. He said you should be ashamed of what?
Of being black men.
Why?
The way we were acting.
Oh.
That's what it was saying. Cause we were calling them coons and stuff. Like, bro, you pulled a gun out on us. Like we were saying, like, I know it was wrong, but you pulled a gun out on us and we start calling you coons and you're Sambo and really?
You did.
I don't advise it. But
look, I'm glad you're still breathing. You needed a seatbelt for your mouth.
But no. It was all of us. We were all.
Know what? Look, I was 20 something. I know. I already know.
This was young. I was like 20. That happened when I was like 20.
Yeah, trust me. Like I said, I remember being 20 and thinking I can say whatever I need to say because I'm grown.
Yeah.
So, you know how you said about asking questions, how that's a good strategy? That's for real, though. I'm in Texas and I was speeding. Okay, I was.
Yeah.
So when I got pulled over, I was like, yeah, we're trying to get to Louisiana and I know I'm supposed to stay on this road, but it's very confusing. This is like before the GPS, and you just type it in, it tells you where to turn up. And I'm like, and so I was like, officer, what do you think is the best route to get to where we were going? Oh, well, everything changed. Well, Well, and then, what you really want to think about now, where are you coming from exactly? Okay, so now, and when you come back around.
Yeah. Just ask questions.
Right. Because you know what? Here's the thing that I think none of us really appreciate is that truth. Most officers go into the business to be helpful. Yes, there is pervasive profiling. Yes, there is a whole lot of bias. And underneath, for real, a lot of them want to be helpful. You give them that opportunity to be helpful. And I'm not saying this always going to work. Please don't. I'm not saying it's a strategy. But I'm just saying that a lot of them, they really do get off on being helpful. And if you give them that opportunity,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Hey, sometimes people, please don't.
Right. I understand. I was listening to this podcast, and I was going 10 miles over the speed limit. And then this buster wanted to come and pull me over. So I said, what can I do for you? Better yet, what can you do for me? Tell me what you can do for me.
They're like, that ain't going to work. Now they're
that's not what we saying right here. That's not what we saying.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Fun.
Yeah.
Let's imagine that the United States is a woman. Mother, lover, stranger, neighbor, friend, you call it. If the United States was a woman, Kamal, what would you say to her?
reparations. Give me my money, mama. God damn it. We want it and we want it now. That's all. That's all I got to say to if America was a woman and my mama and all that. But where's it at? God damn it. Damn. We supposed to be your children. Why you treat us like the redheaded stepchild? God damn it.
Oh, you know, and I was just listening today. I don't know if this is why that's on your mind or not, but literally I was driving from the appointment I had before our interview. And on the radio, they were talking about, because I'm in California, and they were talking about the reparations, like California is trying to do different things. Anyway, but right now, when you just said that, it's like, yeah, it is kind of like being 70 years old and every other kid got an allowance.
Yep.
They took a loan out on a home to get them set up and buy their first house. You know what I'm saying? They paid for the wedding. They did all that. And then we're just like, okay, but you know what? I know the basement. You have made it comfortable. No doubt about it, Mama. You made the basement comfortable. And I know you think I just want to live off of you, but I really would like to get out of here. But I just noticed you gave some other people, the other kids, some money. And I was just wondering, what about me?
Yeah.
Oh, sit my ass down?
Yeah. Mama telling you, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. How the hell do you pull yourself up by your bootstraps?
Right.
Have you tried that?
You know what? I can do that. But I'm just saying, Mama, what about all the stuff you did for everybody else?
Mama, like, get over it. Okay. Damn. Yeah. If America was a woman and was my mom and shit like that, that's what I'll say to America.
Look, I'm just gonna hang my head down low, go back. All right, well, I'm not gonna clean the dishes just like you like it. Oh my God. Yeah, I love that. I love what you said. Let me ask you about a moment that exemplifies for you love. Doesn't have to be the perfect moment of love, but what is a moment that exemplifies love for you?
I would have to say, and God rest her soul, my grandmother, Grandma Francis, you feel me? Where like I was down to my last nickel in college. And I just, I was afraid to ask her for money. I never asked her for money ever in my damn life. So I asked her and she told me, like, you better not ever be afraid to ask me for anything because you doing the right thing. And I asked for $50. She gave me $200. And I was like, damn, that's some love. It's not the money. It's the fact that she saw I was doing the damn right thing. And a lot of people don't see that. So that's why I say that moment right there exemplified it love. And I know it dealt with some financial shit. And I know, but it was the whole thing, what she said, the reason why she was giving me the dough.
I understand. I think I do anyway, because what I hear is your grandmother validated your life path. She validated your choices. She said, I see you. I see what you're doing. And then followed that, backed that up. She put her money where her mouth was.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you had that experience because, a lot of people, we grow up and we have parents who tell us the things we need to hear. But I also know there are a lot of people who grow up and they don't get a chance to hear from the people who love them, the actual expression of it, like, I'm proud of you. We think it's so, we think we know, they should know I'm proud of them. Of course he knows I'm proud of them. I talk about them all the time, but sometimes we just need to hear it. And I hear that your grandmother just acknowledged you. So that's awesome. I totally get that.
Hell yeah.
So we're near the end here. This question.
We're near the end already?
I know. I think before I actually started introducing you, you and I were just talking and you were talking about how you got into, your channel and working in media. I know there are a lot of people who believe that they could run a YouTube channel. They could, be funny. They could produce, they could comment on the news. They could do that. But I'm going to tell you, just from doing a podcast where all I do is interview with a set number of questions, right?
Yeah.
Like it really takes things. So I really acknowledge you for what you've built. Like you've built up a substantial presence. How did you either, and you can pick which one you answer, either share how you got into having your own station, like how you progressed into that, or share what it takes or what you enjoy most about the career you're in now as a digital media producer?
I think the most exciting thing for me and why I'm so excited about this is because I am kind of making a difference. And even what you said earlier validates me even more that what I'm saying can probably save a potential life or two. You feel me? And at the same time, I know I'm making an impact because two things. One, I got a lot of haters. God damn, they be hating. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. They call me all types of names. But two, I get a lot of love, and I get people like, yo, I love what you're doing with your channel. I love what like the direction you're going. I love that. You know what I mean? And like, if people be like, you need to be bigger and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, I appreciate it. I'm glad people are seeing that, like, you know, I'm trying to do this so we could get information and stuff like that, and like help somebody out and stuff like that, you know. And also it's like, yo, I could see how people could see the news is boring, but I see it as fun. So maybe I could bring some funness to the news, and hopefully I could change the outlook of little kids, because I used to work with kids, and I'm tired of our Black kids just looking at athletes, entertainers as their only outlet. Man, you could be a news anchor. You feel me? I want a Black kid to be proud and be looking at me and like, yo, I want to be a news anchor like Kamal. So that's what excites me. You feel me? And the creation of my news station, how it came about, really was somebody else said it. People were like, a couple people were like, yo, you're so, it's like the news. You got like a news channel. And I never called it a news channel or news station. I was like, and that was like a year and a half ago when somebody said that. I was like, you right. I am running this like news. I am a news anchor. So then I just start telling people that, and they start referring it to a news station and a news channel. And I'm like, man, sounds great. I love it.
Well, I love what you do. The last question I'll ask, my standard set, so to speak, is what is something that you've learned either from your personal life or your professional life that you think more people should know but don't?
Personal and professional people out there, find something to do, love it, and keep at it. No matter what. Goddamn. That's what I done learned. You gotta keep at it. It's gonna be bumps in the road. It's gonna be things that done happen. I'll tell y'all right now. I done had 3 shows that done failed already. I done did it with other people that I know and stuff like that, and it fell through. I could have cried. Oh God, oh my God. Nope, I kept going. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep pushing. I know that sounds cliche. Damn, I sound cliche as hell right now. Keep pushing, keep fighting. But it's hella true though.
Cliche for a reason, because it's true.
And the one thing I would say, you gotta do it when nobody else is looking. I remember a whole month I didn't gain no goddamn subscribers on my YouTube channel. A month, 0 subscribers, and I kept putting out videos. You gotta just do it when nobody else is giving a goddamn about it. Gotta keep striving, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. So I have a separate question for you. It's 2030.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
2030? Hopefully I got a couple news stations around the States. And I don't have to be like, okay, I'm gonna always have a show on there.
Okay.
I like doing this stuff. But I want other people to be under it. And I want an actual real news station. You know what I mean? Have my own news station. I'm like, okay. That's me. Got news stations all around. And I want to be executive producer in like shows and movies, because I really do like shows and movies. And hey, possibly I might can write some stuff. Who knows? So that's how I see myself in like 2030.
I like it. Speak it, have it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Kamal, what did you get for yourself out of having this conversation?
You know what I got out of myself? I didn't really realize me kind of like speaking is like, it actually helps people and like saving lives. I never really thought of that. Now I'm even more like, I'm like even more happy of what I do because I speak for a living in a sense, even though I never really wanted to. I always want to be in the back end, editing, you know, shooting videos and directing and stuff like that, be a cinematographer type of ordeal. But I guess I'm put in this place for a goddamn reason. And it's like me speaking up. I never realized like, yo, like that pinnacle situation with that car stuff, like me speaking up help save some lives. And maybe me speaking up now on my news channel can help save some lives and better people's lives and stuff. That's what I learned from this this podcast, you know?
So it has just been a pleasure. Like I said, I've already figured out what you represent for me. You're like Mr. Commitment. I love that about you. Stay committed. I have every belief. I don't ask every brother, where do you see yourself in 2030? I ask you because I know that whatever you see, you are someone who will actually spend the time to make it happen. So I wish that for you. I pray that for you. Thank you for making time. Before we go, you want to give a shout out to where people can find you. It'll be in the show notes. It'll be in the show notes, but go ahead and just tell them for the people who are auditory.
All right. For people that's tubers out there, watch YouTube and stuff, you could find me by typing in Kamal Johnson ENT. I have all my shows on there. I have the Sears Glare. I have the Gab. I have the other show that I mentioned earlier with one of my best friends and co-host, Frank, the Magic Think Tank. And then I created another show called Storm in the Brain. All of them shows is on Kamal Johnson ENT on YouTube. And if you want to listen audio-wise, you go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. And on all my social medias, well, I'm really active on Twitter and TikTok, and it's Kamal Johnson ENT. So, but I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. That's all you got to type, Kamal Johnson ENT. I just keep it simple, keeping my name. I just wanted to say one thing to you, Robin. I'm glad you're doing this shit. You're giving black men a podcast so they can talk. And we could like, the thing is too, is like, I could kind of listen to your show and collab with other black men that's doing other great stuff.
Yes. I love that.
You feel me? So I ain't never heard this. I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, this is a first. So I'm about to be shouting this out on my shows too. 365, you feel me? Thank you.
Thank you for listening to 365 Brothers. Certainly hope you enjoyed the episode. I encourage you to subscribe. Please leave a review. I want to know what you think. Also, if you know someone who would be a fantastic guest for 365 Brothers, please direct them to our website, 365brothers.com. You'll also find all the episodes there, 365brothers.com. And your support is welcome. And remember, to listen is to love.